why is habit so important for a person to develop?
Well, there's so many answers to that question, but I think the first thing that comes to mind is that it builds self-esteem, and it builds self-worth, and it builds self-belief. When you keep the quote that I use that lands for people in speeches and podcasts is, if you had a friend who broke as many promises to you as you've broken to yourself, how much would you value that friendship? And the answer is you wouldn't value that friendship very much, right? How many times have you said you're going to go to the gym and not gone? How many times have you said you were going to do that diet and didn't do it? How many times did you say you were going to start that podcast and didn't do it, right? So it's interesting because I think that on a podcast like this or any of the other media or speeches or stages that I'm on, it's just interesting because that's not my focus. My focus is when no one's watching. Someone on a podcast asked me a couple months ago, and I'll literally never forget it. I'll actually keep talking about it probably forever. They asked me, what does it mean to be next level? And the only answer I could give, it was interesting because I really thought about it. I didn't just, yeah, it was, right? And obviously that's our brand, Next Level You, all that. But, and by the way, Next Level You. So it's about you, right? So that's a cool little pun. But the only answer I could give is, who are you and what are you doing when no one's watching? That's the only answer I can give. And so why are habits so important? It's vice and virtue. It's choices. No matter what background or nationality or country you come from, you know, I've been blessed at this point to coach people all over the world, Australia, the UK, Italy, all kinds of, we got a 13-person team globally, virtual team. I study people. I've been studying people my entire life, and virtue is virtue. It's a universal language. Compassion is always going to be a virtue, no matter what your background, no matter what the context, it's always a virtue. Greed and arrogance is always a vice. And so we all have a virtuous path that is in alignment with our true nature. And we all have a vice path, and we've all traveled on both roads, and we know which one is more fulfilling. And we know which one is easy and maybe shiny and fun, but not fulfilling, not deeply meaningful. And so why are habits so important? Habits are the foundation on which you build your self-esteem, your self-belief, and your self-worth. If you can't do little things well, what makes you believe that you can do big things well? We're starting I just got finished before this podcast writing the GoFundMe page for a Books for Babes initiative that we have. And it's basically this little charity that my girlfriend and I started, where we collect money to buy inspiring books for underprivileged kids in the city of the greater Worcester area. And last year we raised $1,000, and 300 plus books. Unbelievable, or 800 plus books for 300 kids and families, for underprivileged kids, all recyclable newspaper. We had handwritten notes to give to the teachers, to give to the kids. It was like amazing. We were like delivering books at 1 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve. Like, it was a whole thing. It was amazing. But the reason I'm saying this is because literally I thought to myself earlier, like, we got to double it. I want to raise 2,000 this year. I want to go bigger. I want to do it better. But here's the thing. If we didn't do last year well, and we didn't put in work and effort there, even though we failed forward and we struggled and we scrapped. If I can't handle the little things well, what makes you think I'm going to handle the big things well? And so I think it's incremental improvement over time with small daily disciplines that you do daily. And, you know, at Next Level You, that is what we are about. I mean, social media, fluffy, shiny object, nice Instagram-worthy photos are not what we care about. I mean, I do the Instagram thing, right? I've got nice photos too, but at the end of the day, I genuinely care more about how I behave behind the scenes when no one's watching than I do right now on this show. Like, genuinely. And I think that that's the only way to have a deeply meaningful life. And before my car accident at 26, I couldn't have said that. And that's my point, right? I had the mortality motivation of, like, my dad didn't get a second chance, and I did. And I'm going to turn this thing around, and I'm going to be the man that I'm proud of every single day, not just once, but every single day. So that's why habits are so important. Self-esteem, true self-esteem, not like ego, I don't care type of, nonsense self-worth. A lot of people fake self-worth and fake self-esteem, and they fake self-belief. I'm talking real, built over time, gritty, tangible self-worth of, like, I do hard and necessary things, and I keep the promises I make to myself. So I believe in myself because I've proven it over years and years and years of experience. And when that foundation is strong, you're not going to topple. It's a beautiful thing.